Hello there. My name is Corey, and I am a Star Wars.
My name is also Corey, and I am a Star Wars.
And my name is Jim, and I am a Star Wars.
And we are a Star Wars.
So it has come to our attention that the three of us are a little divided on The Last Jedi. This is a mini episode, so therefore I'm setting a 20-minute timer. We are rolling.
We might be done in like 7 minutes.
Timers be damned. This might take hours.
This one is a little divisive.
7 minutes.
I mean, not really just among the three of us. It is pretty divisive in the world of the Star Wars.
Let's just start from zero here. There was a movie, and its name was called
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, episode 7.
That does exist.
That's 8.
Episode 8 of 9. The Last Jedi.
El Último Jedi.
Written and directed by
Ryan
Johnson, who made the Glass Onion movie and the fucking I love those movies.
Looper.
Oof.
Haven't seen that one.
I appreciate him.
Knives Out.
That's that universe.
Brick.
I don't know about that.
That's good shit.
I believe you. But this movie, I'm going to go ahead right now at the beginning of the episode. I'm going to come out. I'm going to take out a piece of chalk and I'm going to draw a circle around the area where I am standing. And I am going to say that I am opposed to this movie as being crap and I hate it. That's my initial response.
I disagree.
Go on.
We're going to get into that.
I think it is the best of the last trilogy. Above and beyond the other two.
I'm with Corey on that one. I could be persuaded from a fan service perspective that Force Awakens is more fun, but in my opinion, of the 3 sequel trilogies, The Last Jedi is the best movie.
It's so weird because I feel like I can agree with you that it's the best of that trilogy and also say it is a terrible movie that I hate really hard.
I'm with you on that. I can see. That's why we're going to talk about this for 20 minutes.
And you know what? Overall, if you wanted me to like gun to my head, what do I feel about the sequel trilogy? Like 1 to 10, I'm going to give it I'm not giving it a low number. Because it's Star Wars and that's what we have. And I accept it. So I'm going to give it like a 7 out of 10. But it still hurts me that those movies went in directions I don't like. And I feel like The Last Jedi went in a lot of directions I don't like.
That's fair.
That's fair. My only real argument is that it's not episode 9 because episode 9 is clearly the worst of that trilogy. Yes or no?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't know. It just makes it have a special place in my heart. Does it hurt? Yes, because I have to watch Luke Skywalker die on screen.
Yeah.
Luke was going to die anyway.
Right.
There was no version of a sequel trilogy where he didn't pass the baton. And I think that the way he died was pretty powerful. And the fact that he owned the Force in such a way that he fought Kylo Ren from across the fucking galaxy.
That's some gangster shit.
Like that shit, when he brushes the dust off of his shoulder, that is a moment that works. It works. That moment works. I will agree that it also has some of the cringiest moments in it. And as much as I don't have a problem theoretically with Leia having Force power, we know she's Force sensitive, but just being able to Mary Poppins herself, it just looked funny. I don't have a problem with her doing it. I love the idea that Kylo Ren was going to go kill his mom because he already killed his dad, and then he didn't pull the trigger, right? It was somebody else that did it. And then the Mary Poppins thing just doesn't work for me. That to me is the hardest part to watch in that movie.
It's weird because I feel like when I saw that in the theater, that wasn't the worst part for me. I was just like, it's fine, whatever. On rewatch, I'm like, oh God, what are they doing? That's so weird. Just give her Force powers. That's Don't give her.
But I mean, that
just
was
one weird thing.
That
and
was,
then later, like in flashback, be like, oh, by the way, she trained Rey to be a Jedi because she was also a Jedi.
That's in the
And
third
we're like,
movie, though.
what? Yeah, I know. So, like her arc, her movie.
So, what do you
was
hate
fucked up.
most about The Last Jedi?
What do
Let
I
your
hate
hate
most about
flow
the Last
through you.
Jedi? Oh, that's such a wonderful, delicious question. I don't like that we're focused on things that we've never focused on in Star Wars.
Explain.
That's what bothers me. It bothers me that the entire plot of that movie is hinged on fuel. The whole thing is
The chase. So the plot mechanic behind the chase.
We have enough fuel to make one more hyperspace jump, but they can track us. So that won't work because then we'll be dead when we get there.
Right.
So we only have enough fuel to stay at this very precise distance from them where they can shoot at us, but they can't kill us. But eventually they will. But for a little while they can't. Like, it's kind of weird, nebulous thing. But at what point in this program, in this series, in these movies, in this anywhere, has anyone ever been like, I don't know if we have enough fuel for that. I don't know if we have the gas to get to that planet.
That's a great question.
This has never been an issue.
The hyperdrive was clearly a problem in the Millennium Falcon and Empire Strikes Back.
100%. Yeah.
It was very much a problem on the Nubian cruiser in Phantom Menace.
Let me ask you this question. How much fuel does it take to use
I think it takes
that hyperspace?
teaspoon of sugar.
It takes 7.
Exactly. We do not know.
But they've
Because
you're
this
right.
has never been an issue.
But they've made, I mean, and this gets back to what we were talking about in a different episode, but like the way that they've expanded the series, like Solo is all about getting the fuel for the fleet.
It is, but it's more of a heist movie
How
than
about-
it
how
is
about this?
it's
Solo is
procedural.
definitely Solo's a heist movie, and Last Jedi is a what is it? It's a Western escape. I mean, it's the big. I don't know what it is. I hear you.
either.
It's plotty as hell.
I just mean
it's a
that,
plot
like,
mechanism.
he clearly brought things in that, like, the worrying about fuel costs. Like, I had never worried about fuel costs before. What's his name's thief character showed up and started saying, like, oh, look, these people built arms for the bad guys and the good guys. Before that, I never thought about the galactic industrial military complex and who's making all these that's not
Who's
something
making the money off of
that
off
didn't
the
come
conflict.
into my head, and I don't know that I needed it.
But when you look at Andor now, they're talking about, like, when she talks about setting her husband up and he's got a gambling problem, she's like, why don't you go to Canto Bight? And, you know, if you're going to gamble, go, there's a casino, go there.
Yeah.
Like the uber wealthy. I mean, we talk about the 1% here. Imagine a 1% where it's millions and millions and millions of entities, right? Like the wealth, the concentrated wealth in the Star Wars
the
universe
galaxy
is so huge. What do you think, Corey?
I don't know that I'm that deep into it like you guys.
What do you like about The Last Jedi?
See, that's what I'm smoking on, is that I don't know that we want to get so deep on it. We don't want to get so deep into, like, who got paid money for building that X-Wing.
Hold on, though, because it's funny, because the reason why I like Last Jedi is because I don't give a shit about that plotty setup about them trying to escape Snoke's ship because of fuel costs. I'm like, oh, the bad guys are in pursuit and they're trying to figure out a way out. And okay, fine. That's the place setting for this story.
And now we're in a casino.
Right.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm probably an outsider here, but I like crotchety old Luke.
Luke's arc in Last Jedi is, in my opinion, the least problematic part of The Last Jedi.
And a lot of people have a lot of problems with.
I get it, but that's because we as 12-year-olds wanted to see Luke whooping ass, and maybe we'll get a show or a movie or something of middle-aged Luke, but like broken Luke who fucked up and couldn't live up to the thing. Like, I mean, how many of your teachers have you met that were still, swinging aces, right? Like, very few. Like, when you get old and you've made mistakes and you have to live with those mistakes, like, those mistakes probably ring truer than your
fucking nephew,
right?
Or at least he thinks he failed his nephew, right?
I mean, he did, but he also, like, it's not Luke's fault that he couldn't succeed because he was trying to build something that there was no infrastructure there for. He was trying to make something that he also didn't know anything about, right? He didn't know anything about the way the Jedi Order worked because it didn't exist when he was exposed to the Force and brought up into it, right? There was no one there to show him what to do. So it was completely on his shoulders to figure out how to try to move forward.
He knew Yoda for a couple weeks before he died.
Right.
That's it.
Luke did the best he could, and it wasn't good enough. And because he was also still very, very powerful with the Force, he took himself off the board. And I don't have a problem with that. And here comes, Rey, who's like, here's your lightsaber that we don't know where we got that from, but like, here's your lightsaber from Bespin. And he's like, that's some old shit, because that's not my lightsaber. I got my lightsaber's green.
That's my daddy's lightsaber.
That's my
he
dad's
killed
lightsaber,
younglings
right?
with that shit.
Right.
Put
that lightsaber
down.
says bad motherfucker on it. Oh, wait, no, that's a different one. But seriously, like, I don't have a problem with Rey earnestly pursuing Luke and wanting to be trained in the Force. I love that. I love that aspect of it. And Luke not wanting to lean into it and not wanting to do the thing, I don't have a problem with that, because I get that arc works for me in that show. I definitely wanted to see Luke doing some more badass shit, but they kind of gave that to us in
More
Mandalorian.
badass than fighting your nephew from across the fucking
pretty badass. That's
planet.
a great payoff.
It was very
scene.
badass.
And then when he disappears on the end on that rock, whoo, tears.
And he fucking gives Leia you find Han's dice in the fucking room at the end. Oh my god.
Which somehow those are real, but like he's a hologram.
That's how strong he is with the Force. It's made out of midichlorians, Corey. It's made out of midichlorians.
Listen, you're trying
manifested
to
midichlorians.
Shit just happened. You don't need to know why.
Listen, all I'm smoking on, I have never in any movie, any sequel movie of anything, search your fucking minds, I've never seen a movie where one movie ended with like, she's climbed a mountain, she found this man, she pulls out the lightsaber, the music is building, and she stands and she holds it out and she's hopeful, and I found your lightsaber. Like, I found you. I traveled across the galaxy to find you. And then the next movie
woke up out of a goddamn coma.
And then the next movie picks it up from that moment. And Luke says, fuck you, what? And throws the lightsaber over his shoulder. Like, I've never seen one movie shit on another movie the way that moment shit on Force Awakens. And I don't, like, even if Force Awakens is just like a total ripoff of...
Another reason why I like it.
That's kind of, I like that. So I do. That beat, there's so much more about Last Jedi that I think we could dig into.
That's why we're here.
I like that beat. I like that beat because the assumption was that he was going to become her Yoda. That's bullshit. He's not Yoda. This guy fucked up. Yes, he won and then fucked up when he had no war to fight. And then he hid, right? And now she's coming to him with earnest intention, and he doesn't want to be her Yoda. He doesn't want to engage in that shit because the last time he tried to do it, he failed miserably. And I would argue that they gave us a taste of that in the Book of Boba episode with him and Grogu, where he gave Grogu a binary choice. Like, you can either, have a dad or be a Jedi. I'm like, no, motherfucker. Why are you doing that, Luke? That's not how you grew up in the Force.
That's an absolute.
Why are you dealing in absolutes? And Grogu was like, I'm out, Hoss. I'm done. This is bullshit.
He said, fuck you, peace out.
And
Outta
so
here.
that's something that, like...
I'm going to eat frogs, motherfucker.
I'm going to eat frogs.
All the frogs I want. Fuck this.
Right? What do you think, Corey?
I mean, again, that's one of the reasons why I like it, because it's kind of Rian Johnson being like, what y'all did with episode 7 was okay. It was fun. It was fan service. We get to see Han and Leia, and we get to see these new characters. We try to start building them, even though, it was basically episode 4 all over again, right? Take a kid from the desert.
Click to click, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, in one way, like, Luke does give himself up for the greater good, right? In the same way that Obi-Wan does in episode 4. And Luke had seen that, right? Luke watched that happen. That's really the only parallel in episode 8 that you get to Empire. Or am I wrong? No,
that's the only parallel you get, and that's even saying that's a parallel is kind of like a stretch.
It's a bit of a stretch, but I mean, I see the note, but
it makes me like it better. But
like the Luke's arc in Last Jedi, in my opinion, is the least problematic part of that movie, just because I feel like where we find him, where he's at, what we learn about him, what he ends up doing for Rey, and then how he sacrifices himself to help the rest of them escape. Like that arc feels very grounded and traditional, and it's done in such a way that's really, really cool. Like that part of Last Jedi, I think, is the least problematic. I do think, as much as I don't mind the Canto Bight scene, and as much as I don't have a problem with the premise of the pursuit and the chase and the fuel issue, I do think that's where all of the problems lie, because the problem that I have most with Last Jedi is this new technology that subverts everything that we've seen. And I know subversion was like all about what Rian Johnson was trying to do, but like being able to track a ship through hyperspace felt like a necessary plot point and not a logical thing. Mm-hmm. But then let's accept that. How the fuck is there going to be a bracelet that Rey is wearing that you can see from anywhere in the universe?
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations and welcome. I want to welcome you into our inner circle of the three of us, and this is what we call How the Hell.
How the hell?
And it's when you get home and you're like, that was a pretty good movie, and then the next day you're like,
how the hell?
Man, how the hell did Will Smith get to know that the aliens were flying over LA at that moment? How the hell? You just think about it the next day and you're like, it was brilliant at the time, but now that I think about it, it's a little tough. And that's what you have just brought in as a how the hell.
The how the hell, like that one, that to me is one of the weakest links in it. Like even Kylo Ren, I don't have a problem with Snoke dying. None of that shit. But that was fun. Honestly, I loved all of that sequence. I loved Kylo Pylo killing Snoke. I love like the two of them battling the guards and then him not wanting her. Like I loved all of that because it felt, that to me didn't feel like a how the hell. That felt like strong egos and attitudes and too much power going in the wrong direction. And it just, that didn't bother me.
Do you know what it felt like to me?
What?
You want to know what it felt
like? Yes, I do.
It felt like, fuck you, is what it felt like to me. It felt like, oh, you watched that movie and you thought about it a lot and you came up with some theories. Fuck you. Oh, you took the little breadcrumbs that we laid out for you and you thought like, oh, maybe she's this, maybe she's a Palpatine, maybe she's this, maybe she's that. Fuck you.
That's right.
I can't believe you're such a nerd that you care about who her parents might be or who Snoke might be. Fuck you. This is stupid. They're dumb. We killed them all. Look, they're all dead. Now, why do you even care, nerd? Go buy a toy and wait for the next movie to come out, nerd, because I hate you and I hate everything about you, and I don't care about what you care about. That's what it felt like to me.
And that's the end of the
God
podcast.
damn it, I win.
That's the end of the podcast.
In summation, people hate it because they had to watch Luke die, and I don't hate it for that reason.
We love you. Good night.
We are a Star Wars.
That's not good. Okay, bye.